Hey guys, good morning. Flamengo greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're just arriving, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave that awesome like on the video. We're here thanks to the sponsorship of Arudo's Caravan. For Flamengo's upcoming games, you can make sure you're there, okay? Now, man, we're going to fight for this fifth title. Flamengo is going to fight for their fifth Libertadores championship. I think it's worth it for you to attend the games in Rio de Janeiro and also be there for this upcoming stretch. Then there's, man, a game. No, there's a game now in Rio de Janeiro. Then there are two games away, right? La Plata, Colombia. Then there are the games in Rio de Janeiro again. Man, all these games, you can be there. Maracanã with ticket included, Arudo's Caravan Hospitality. Fantastic, okay? So secure your spot right now. Contact Arudo's Caravan. Pinned comment, description, everything is there for you, okay? So we're going to bring you mixed zone coverage after Flamengo's victory at the historic altitude, right? 2-0. Flamengo played really well. There you go. Just to shut up those who talk nonsense and say that Flamengo is favored by the referees. We know that there are mistakes on all sides, but usually there are a lot more mistakes in favor of the other teams. You know, I'm not even talking about Palmeiras or São Paulo, but man, Flamengo is one of the least favored teams. Not the most harmed, but definitely one of the least favored, actually the least. That gets the fewest favorable decisions from VAR. Yesterday, there was one in our favor with that offside call, but it's very rare. It's very rare. If we look at the Brasileirão, Flamengo is among the last teams, the ones with the fewest favorable VAR decisions. It's impressive, okay? And I don't think there's anything to it. I've said this a few times already. I'll repeat that there's some scheming going on, but the unfairness is impressive, right? I think it's absurd. Leila Pereira says they don't complain. Then Abel again doesn't stop whining, and I don't even need to say anything. You're going to talk about Palmeiras? There's no way not to, because Abel just doesn't stop whining, guys. Abel doesn't stop whining. I'll start the video here before showing the mixed zone and press conference clips. Look at Abel complaining about the Libertadores final again. And he doesn't mention Gustavo Gomes, who went in hard on the Junior Barranquilla player and should have been sent off, man. It was a ridiculous play. Plata could have been sent off yesterday, and that should be noted, because if he had, Flamengo would have lost the game. With one less player at that altitude, they would have struggled. And that's it, man. If Flamengo doesn't take care, they're going to end up, you know, at a key moment, losing a player, being one man down. Carrascal, I hope he learned his lesson. It won us a title. Plata almost knocked us out, right? Now, again, Plata almost got sent off. He could have been sent off, and that would have really hurt Flamengo. All right, look, so here we have Flamengo also responding to Leila Pereira's provocation. I didn't bring this up yesterday. I'll bring it up now, right? Yesterday, the focus was all on Flamengo, on the Libertadores debut. We debuted, we're in the lead, we won at high altitude, which is even more important. Look, man, he doesn't change.
I think we played with an aggressive, fresh, intense team that started the game really strong. They scored a goal in the first 6 minutes, a goal. With some bad luck on our part, of course, you can clearly see that Mauricio tries to pull his foot away. But anyway, really, there is contact.
If there is contact, my friend, if there is contact, that's it for tonight. What are you going to complain about? And Leila says they don't complain. They only complain in the right place. They go to the CBF, to CONMEBOL to complain. Abel, every game, every press conference, he talks. Pay attention. I think that...
Looks like VAR will work this year. That's good, because last year, CONMEBOL's VAR here didn't work.
I think this year VR is going to work, because last year CONMEBOL's VR didn't work. He's talking about Pogas playing the match against Palmeiras in the final, where before that Veiga also tackled the Flamengo player and could have been sent off. He only complains about the incident involving Flamengo. It's always like that, and he doesn't stop. Guys, man, forget about Flamengo. Abel, forget about Flamengo, man. This is getting annoying already. Leila only talks about Flamengo. Abel only talks about Flamengo, just complains. It's a tactic, man. They keep complaining to put pressure on CONMEBOL, to put pressure on the Brasileirão.
It seems like it's going to work.
Good. So he's not praising. Okay, guys, he's not praising. He's criticizing.
And our opponent made the most of the goal, and then from there, I think our opponent sat back really well.
The rest doesn't interest me anymore. He already criticized it, already commented on it, and already criticized it. The refereeing by CONMEBOL, the VAR by CONMEBOL, it wasn't praise, it was a criticism. Are you making it clear that the VAR once again made a decision against Palmeiras? So, like, this time the VAR is going to work, right? Let's see if it works. Always in the same game. Gustavo Gomes Abel wasn't sent off, and he should get a punishment, a big suspension for that tackle. And in the Flamengo game, Gonzalo Plata made a tackle that if it were in the Brasileirão, he would have been sent off too. But in CONMEBOL, that's the thing. In CONMEBOL, they rarely give red cards for those plays. Gustavo Gomes from Plata. I also think CONMEBOL should have a standard similar to the Brasileirão and the CBF, but there isn't, right? So we had Flamengo and Lila Pereira. And I'm going to show you here. Take a look. Chopin's Flamengo, huh? Strong partnership. Check it out. And Chopin's Flamengo, huh? Strong partnership. Then Flamengo reposted it, took the chance to respond to Lila Pereira because she talked about Chopin's Real Madrid, right? And at no point did Babe say that Flamengo was the Real Madrid of the Americas. He says the following: Flamengo wants to be like the Real Madrid of the Americas. It's heading in that direction. He didn't say Flamengo was, okay? That was distorted. And then, he takes the opportunity to repost, right? There, a promotion of Chopin, right? Look at that. In the year 2025, we got into soccer and Chopin's team, Flamengo, won everything. I'm not saying anything, just showing the facts. Then they showed all the titles they won, right? The many titles that Flamengo won. And then Flamengo reposted it. And Chopin's Flamengo in a strong partnership. Man, spectacular. You have to post and talk about it. Won everything in 2025, right? And obviously the fans are praising a lot, right? Putting red and black hearts. Flamengo and Chopin together are like the Real Madrid of the Americas. Just kidding. You forgot to add a coupon, Fla Carminha. Man, if you had added a Fla Carminha coupon, oh my God, it's Luana Santiago. It's the colossal Flamengo rowing club. Cardoso Pedro, monstrous aura, but an even bigger ego, Mengudo. Yeah, I was sure this marketing move was going to happen. LOL, Felipe 23, Santos man. What a masterstroke by Flamengo. Yeah, give the admin a raise immediately. And then this other guy here, not in the face, man. They should have put a Carminha 10 coupon. My God, man. Carminha 10 coupon, don't worry. It's valid, okay? I'll let them know. Hold on. Hi. Hi. Is it valid? Coupon Carminha 10 coupon. Hi. On Shopee for any Flamengo product, use coupon Carminha 10 for a discount, okay? Confirmed coupon Carminha 10 for a discount on any Flamengo product on Shopee, okay? 24 hours coupon Carminha 10. If it doesn't work, my friend, just let me know here and I'll complain to them and ask them to fix it, okay? But it's worth a try. I'm calling the mixed zone now. I just wanted to say, man, Flamengo fans also criticize Abel a lot once again for talking about Flamengo. They don't forget Flamengo. Yeah. Oof. Felipe Filo responded, Abel, Danilo with the header, what a special moment. Tony Rocha, seriously, how long will you keep crying? Mirella Rouge, these guys always cry and blame VAR whenever they lose. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Yeah. Ooh. Then people are saying, but then the Palmeiras fan said, wasn't everyone supposed to care for their own team? Then the Flamengo fans respond, first of all, your coach is always talking about Flamengo. Exactly. I'll answer here. Tell your coach to get Flamengo out of his head. From his mind. Look, I'll do it like this. How does he like it? Right? That picture of him, right? Get Flamengo out of your head, Abel. Get it out of your head, okay? So, Flamengo is getting into people's heads. There's no way around it, okay? And we also have some good news to share here before the press conference. Flamengo hasn't conceded a goal in the Libertadores for 4 straight games. It was 1-0 against Racing, 0-0, 1-0 against Palmeiras, and 2-0 against Cusco, right? So that's information from SofaScore. Flamengo hasn't conceded a goal in the Libertadores for quite some time now. Flamengo also has a streak of 27 consecutive unbeaten matches at Maracanã. Flamengo is racking up impressive numbers, and with Leonardo Jardim, it's going to get even better. Here with you in the mixed zone, Leo Pereira, Arrascaeta, and to top it off, Leonardo Jardim.
It's me, Emerson Royal, passing through the mixed zone here. Thanks, Emerson. Thanks. Along with Dr. Luis Macedo here as well. Emerson Royal was probably at doping control and is now heading to the hotel to meet up with the other Flamengo members.
Well, I think we managed to hold up well, despite all the adversity we faced here today at this altitude against the opponent on a high field. Anyway, we knew about these difficulties, but the team was really focused. We went in knowing what we had to do, playing a smart game, because the altitude takes its toll at certain moments in the match, especially if you keep forcing the ball and trying to play at a fast pace. I think we managed to play a solid game and took advantage of the chances we had. We tried to control the game a bit. We know it's difficult, especially because after we scored a goal, the opposing team started to open up more and put more pressure on us. But overall, it's positive. I'm happy with the debut and the victory. It's important. We know we're the current champions of this competition, but that's in the past now. We're showing from the very first game that we want this title again. Quer mais esse título?
Leo, once again, you played a good match, and with each passing day, we're getting closer to May 18th when Chilote announces the World Cup squad. What are your expectations for that final list?
I'm not even thinking about that, man. I'm focused on Flamengo. I have to do my job here, and by doing my job here, I think things will either happen or not, but I'm not even thinking about the national team right now.
Leo, my last question regarding the altitude you mentioned here, the difficulty, did the hotel room with the air vent help? Do you think it helped? And in the locker room, did anyone need oxygen?
Yeah, we used it. I used the oxygen there too. I think it's something we try to use the measures we have to help, right? The medical team has been guiding us this way, so I think it's important. Any help is welcome, and I do think it makes a difference. If they know better and say it matters, we just follow their instructions and do our best to perform well on the field.
Leo, in your opinion, what's harder, playing at high altitude or taking a cold shower in this freezing weather?
No, I mean, I'm making a big deal out of it, but come on, hot water, right? Please. This is work.
Arrasca, good evening and congrats on your goal. Today you became the foreign player with the most appearances for Flamengo. You arrived here, you won 3 Libertadores, you got married, you became a father. I wanted you to talk about your journey, not just as a player, but also as a person. Everything you've achieved during your time here since 2019.
Honestly, I'm very happy with the legacy we're building here at Flamengo. Not just mine, but also my family's. Being able to build a life with my wife, have our son, and experience unique moments like we're living now. And I believe that's what matters, enjoying these moments, which are unforgettable. And as for Flamengo, I'm very grateful for everything I've experienced and achieved here. I always try to give my best. and I have to keep that mindset. We can't stop there. Flamengo are very strong, but I must focus on winning.
Crush it. Regarding the altitude, did you feel any difference at the hotel? Because the rooms had more oxygen coming in through the air conditioning. Did you feel any difference because the room was at a lower altitude?
No, I believe the guys who started the game probably felt it a bit more during the warm-up. But as we were talking with some teammates, the team was very solid, controlling the game very well. Certainly a few balls slipped away because of the pace of the game, but it's nothing. I think we played a great match and we're happy about that.
Well, good evening, everyone. Regarding the match, I think it was a well-deserved victory for Flamengo. In general terms, we were the more offensive team, the one that created more goal-scoring opportunities. It's important to mention that playing at high altitude is not easy. Even Flamengo, given their size, I was reading some small reports, and out of 18 games, they only had 5 wins at high altitude. That's why I'd like to mention the players' commitment here, the professionalism they showed in their approach to the game. And regarding the players individually, I think today was a day we can say that Nakio had a good game. But BH also had a good game. Everton also had an excellent game. And I can name a few more because I think the team was compact, the team was strong as a whole, and because of its collective effort. And that's how it has to be, regardless of who is playing. Regarding Nakio is a box-to-box midfielder, a playmaker. He's an intelligent player. He understands the context of the game. He's an international player. And he will definitely help us whenever he's called upon. For sure. When we played at high altitude, I told our players, we can't expect to play like the home team, right? In this case, Cusco, because they're a team used to crosses, they're used to balls behind the defense, to splitting the game up a bit. We have to stick to our style, which is our idea of collective play. Always try to win the ball back, put the ball on the ground, and play according to our ideas. With a team that's always compact and close together, so you don't really feel the effects of the altitude in terms of big movements or open field runs. I think the team was able to understand that idea, so we were always very close together, both in defense and attack, and that allowed us to be effective and get the 3 points.
Jardim, how are you? Good evening. Gabriel Orphan from Paparazzo Rubro Negro. Jardim, can you share some behind-the-scenes details about managing the altitude in this win? How did you and your squad react to this whole altitude issue? Was there any player who reported feeling it more and others who felt it less? And was it necessary to use oxygen in the locker room at any point during the game? Please share some behind-the-scenes details. Thanks.
Honestly, my message was very simple and direct with the players. We know that this Libertadores group stage is always extremely difficult. Flamengo itself went through a tough phase in the first stage last year. When I was at Alial, I also told them that we went through an extremely difficult phase in the first stage before we also won Asia's Libertadores. And that's why we have to focus on what our strengths and qualities are. For sure, the opponents will let the grass grow high. For sure, some teams play at high altitude. For sure, sometimes the referee's decisions aren't the best, but we are Flamengo. We have to put our qualities and strengths into practice. And that's what the players ended up doing. More important than thinking about the altitude and other things was focusing on our game and our competitiveness in order to try to overcome this tough opponent. The satisfaction came from knowing how tough the game was. It was also my debut in the Libertadores. I wanted to have my debut marked by a victory and also show the players that even when we're winning 1-0, we have to stay alert. When we're winning 2-0, we can't let the opponent believe they have a chance, because in these kinds of games with long balls, the game can change in an instant. And we couldn't give the opponent that chance to turn things around. Of course, we're satisfied. I'm always satisfied when I win. Today we won once again.
And that's it now, it's time to recover well. It's a shame that the Fluminense game is already on Saturday. These guys deserved at least one more day to recover. We only have 48 hours to recover, because on Saturday we already have to be fully ready for another derby. I believe it was a well-deserved win. The numbers show it. We were the team that had the most shots in both the first and second half. We were the team with the highest number of shots on goal. And I think the numbers fully justify the win. But certainly because of their height and the direct style of play these teams use, many times out of nowhere they create dangerous situations. And the offside situation was a borderline case. It's a good thing it wasn't a goal. But for sure our sporting performance justified the victory. Look, my analysis of a group stage, whether it's in the Champions League, Libertadores, or in Asia, it's the same for everyone. The goal is to get enough points as early as possible to qualify the team. That's our main objective. For sure, today we started off on the right foot. Now we have to keep it going in the next home game, so that we don't leave it to the final games. Get things decided in our favor early on. And that's our goal. One of the things I try to develop in this group is our ability to find solutions for the squad to have options. We're not just the starting 11, but often those who are on the bench have a role that's just as important or even more important than those who start. That's why when we made the substitutions, the changes, the team maintained its attitude and it showed its quality with fresher legs. And we ended up scoring the second goal through an important player everyone knows. That's Arrascaeta, and he almost sealed the result for us. And in our victory regarding the next game against Medellin, right now we are more focused on Fluminense, because we're playing a derby next Saturday. And then we'll have 4 days to prepare for the second round of the group stage. That's why we don't want to think ahead. We want to focus on a good recovery today and tomorrow, so that on Saturday we can have the whole team ready for the derby, which was very important for us. When we played at high altitude, with 2 days of recovery, it's hard for us to get tired players to play well. And that's why the squad has other options. And we took the opportunity to make some changes. From the Santos game to today, not just in attack, but also in midfield and in the defensive line. So we can have a fresher team to be able, under these conditions, to have better performance. Regarding Palata, I've already told you that my goal is to get Palata to a good level, because he is an international player. He's a very high quality player with good physical ability in terms of pressing, in terms of aggressiveness. But as I said before, he had a difficult time. He wasn't in a position to help the team after his time with the national team. He came back stronger, more focused, and he's showing his worth, and this is what I and Jardim, what Flamengo and the fans want. Palata at a good level to help his teammates and to help Flamengo.